All right, we are live. Anyway, today we are talking some more about Arrow Video. We're in the last days of the sale, at least on the Arrow Video website, and there are still some days left, I think, on the Barnes and Noble for like 50% off Arrow sale, which I'm not quite sure how long that one is going on. Maybe you guys can let me know that, where I'm not as savvy with the Barnes and Noble site. Anyway, today we are talking about, we're looking at some Arrow Video movies in specific. I actually watched a couple recently on a couple of my sets that I wanted to actually speak about. I am going to show you the set that I never bring down for my in my Arrow Video collection that I'm super proud of, and it's going to kind of explain exactly kind of where I want to go with this video. Hey Jesse, how's it going, man? And that is I I love horror. Right now, we're in July, and I'm already excited for Halloween to happen. I'm not joking. I'm super excited for Halloween to happen. I'm going to order. Do you have any ideas, Tennessee? I know that on my last video, I mentioned that the Arrow, the Volume One of the American Horror Project, still available on the Vinegar Syndrome website. Hey, Livins. And actually, a couple people from Twitter and from the video actually ordered the box set after that was mentioned on here. So awesomeness. They're going to get some really good stuff. And we actually are going to talk a bit about that today. That's surreal in a different way. So the one box set that never gets shown when I do. Hey, Stack. You had like a comment before, and I was trying to read it. I think you might have deleted it or something, because I was trying to read it, and then I went to the click on it, and it wasn't there. It was really interesting too, so I never got to finish it. Hey, Missing, welcome. And what we're looking at today, as you can see, I'm wearing my glasses today. These are still my broken glasses. I just kind of like put them back into place. Enough so that I can wear them, so that I can see your comments on there. So the one box set that I never showed when I was doing that, that's basically because it's always in my display case, is this one right here. So this is the Phantasm box set. This is a perfect example of kind of nightmarish surrealism horror at its very finest, at its very best. You know, you would say like a more of a mainstream surreal horror would be kind of like a Nightmare on Elm Street, but Phantasm, as people that have been following my channel for a long time know, I'm a particularly huge fan of this franchise, and I'm a fan of this style of horror, this type of like kind of like unreal, kind of like nightmare fueled. Doesn't always make total sense, but it's the actual feeling that you get. See what I unsealed? So you got two of them, right? That's more of a thing. It kind of the fear that permeates through the through the film, because it doesn't follow a typical narrative structure. Instead, it basically relies on the kind of the feeling that you're going to get through watching it. It's like a little. Do I have any new movies? Well, I have lots of new movies, but I'm not unboxing anything today. I don't know. Actually, my mail thing is still out, so you never know. I could get a knock on the door anytime. But the one thing that hey Peter, is that it depends on like it's on the feeling. I got to say that in the near future, I don't think I'll be unboxing way too much stuff, because I'm not going to have like a lot to unbox, because money-wise, I'm waiting until, so I think September's my, like aside from the orders I got coming now, September's my next big order that I got coming. And then October's, of course, going to be a big month for anybody here that's like deals in the movie or horror YouTube community. That tends to be the big month for us, for like unboxings and reviews and stuff like that. And I had thought of like doing a this as a regular type of review, but instead I wanted this to be something that I could kind of talk about, and just talk about in general with you guys, because you could give me some ideas and some thoughts, and maybe especially if you've seen the film, So there are two films that I want to talk about today. Norman J. Warren. Honestly, Jesse, I had to put that on the back burner for right now because I could not. I wanted to get the set, and I still want to get the set, but I got to wait a bit on it because finances were a little bit more than expected over the last month or so. So I'm a bit disappointed in that. As you guys know, you can look behind me. You can see I have every indicator set that's come out so far. I do want the Norman J. Warren set. I want the Dietrich set. And I will hopefully eventually get those. But I am a little channel, and I don't have like a Patreon, or I don't have like people don't send me a lot of stuff, so it's a little bit harder for me sometimes when it comes to like keeping up with a lot of the stuff. I don't get like things from movie companies or anything like that. So anything that I get on my channel is something that has been gotten 9 times out of 10 by me. I've went out, purchased it, or I've pre-ordered it, type of thing. So that's why you'll see like lots of stuff during sale times and that I'll like, even when I can't get on the sales myself, I'll try to do a video here so that you guys know exactly what's going on. Now, as of right now, it looks like we got some good sales going on. We got like the Arrow 50% off sale. We got the Barnes & Noble Criterion 50% off sale. We got the Arrow Barnes & Noble 50% off sale. There was, as of yet, I think yesterday, the Screen Archives Twilight Time sale, and Twilight Time themselves are also having a sale. From what I hear though, price-wise, the Twilight Time sales aren't that great. It's not something that I would like go into. And of course, Full Moon is having a sale as well. So as you guys know, I'm going to be doing a Full Moon video here in the near future to talk about the company, some of the movies that I got from them. I'll be looking at what the site is, like the site sale, and we'll go through that as well. So we'll go through the Full Moon list because that's been requested around, like this was requested on my last video quite a bit, and since then I've got some private messages as well asking me if I was going to talk about the Full Moon sale, and I will actually be talking about it, so fear not, and I'll be talking about it within the next day or two. You looked at the Twilight Time, did you? Yeah, I know. So the first movie anyway that I want to talk about, the one that I really wanted to get into, that like definitely deals with surrealism and is a very different film. And I hope some of you guys have seen this because I hope we can actually talk about this. Vinegar Syndrome recently had a sale. Like their sale's over right now. They had a huge sale, which was really good. So this is from the American Horror Project set Volume 1. If you have that set and you've gone through it, you're going to know this film really well. If you don't have this set, Vinegar Syndrome has it right now. It's out of print everywhere else, even on Amazon. If you go on Amazon.com, it'll show it a stock. But it's an out of print box set. The first volume is. And so they've put the movies out like separately if you want to buy them like that. But if you want to get the box set with the book and all that stuff, Vinegar Syndrome right now is probably the best place to grab it. Hey Kathy, how's it going? So the movie that I watched was Malatesta's Carnival of Blood from the American Horror Project Volume 1. So first off, before you even say anything, speak up now if you've seen this film. You haven't watched this one? So, yeah, the covers, it's like this is a reversible artwork, and I'll be honest with you, the reverse, I like the artwork, that's done on the new artwork that's done, but the original artwork is so cool when it comes to these American Horror Projects. I saw the reversible artwork for Volume 2. I'll be switching over the artwork in Volume 2 as well. So this is probably the least known and least seen film out of the whole American Horror Project. And basically that's because for a long time this movie was thought to be lost. And it was only like a while back that it's actually made it to like a kind of a small DVD run that not a lot of people got to see. Now, the director that made this film is Christopher, I think, Speethers or something like that. Yes, Christopher Spieth, and it was his one and only like movie that he made. Oh no, the one with Richard Lynch is A Premonition. I haven't got to looking at that one yet. That's the one. That's but I will be talking about that one on the channel in the near future. Now, what you have to know about this film is it has a very loose narrative structure, and I do mean that in the strongest sense of the words. Like, there's a narrative, you can follow it, but it's not like strongly like going. It's not strongly story oriented. Uh, it is in the like best way I can put this is there's this couple with a daughter that comes to a carnival, and they're going to basically be taking over this booth. What we kind of find out is that they're looking for like their son or something went missing. That's not really explained well, but their son went missing, and they think it's like has something to do with the carnival. So that's their actual like real reason behind it. And their their daughter meets up with this carnival, like kind of this the guy that runs this the Tunnel of Love, and they meet up with a another couple that's working out like this, and that's this really bratty kid that's working another one of the booths, and that couple goes into the Tunnel of Love and they don't come out. He goes in to check and he finds like a pair of broken glasses with blood on them, and that leads to the young man and the young lady actually searching things out to see exactly what's going on in this carnival. And we learn really quickly that things are not as they seem. Things are way more nefarious. And it almost comes across like some kind of Fellini-esque or style. I'm not joking here. Style like, or it's very, very like set in like in a nightmare, like 3 steps outside of reality type of a type of world. You've got this carnival with these very like shady characters, and really oddly spoken, oddly dressed people. Really well done. And there's some actually very creepy sequences within the film that kind of stand out. There's this guy that's always picking up like trash at the carnival, and he's got this kind of like bluish skinned like face, almost like a zombie-esque type thing. It's played by William Peterson, and not that William Peterson. I think William Peterson, William Johnson, something like that. Anyway, so and he's really creepy. His sequences are actually very creepy within the film, and the film, the way it goes, the way that it ends, it very much goes like a nightmare. It doesn't seem like your standard typical film where we're just following these characters. It's good. It has a bit of gore in there, throws a bit of like the Herschel Gordon Lewis style gore in there as well, but I don't think it goes over the top with it. There's some sequences where there's this like almost seems like this underground portion of the carnival where they're running, and the people that are there, there's this huge like movie screen in front of them, and they're playing like silent horror films like Phantom of the Opera and Hunchback of Notre Dame, and the way that it's framed is really interestingly done. Is like you see this horrific like group of I guess you would say sort of like almost kind of zombie-esque, cannibalistic type creature people, and they're framed with Hunchback of Notre Dame, like for instance, like playing in the on the screen, and it's just really uniquely oddly done. There's some really good set pieces there. When the girl is so trusting, too trusting, when she's running from these people. They restored this as best as could be. You got to remember, this was lost. This was a lost film. So it's got like a brand new 2K restoration from the vault materials that are available. Is it like perfect? It's not perfect, but this is as good as this movie's ever going to look. That's the best way to put it to you. All these movies, all these American Horror Project movies have been restored. Now, when you go into one of these older films, remember these were low budget films. They weren't done like you would see like a movie done nowadays where it's like it looks like it just came to the theater, that type of thing. It very much has a grindhouse type of feel to it when you're watching the film. But rather than take away from like the film, it actually adds a bit of like atmosphere to the movie when you're watching it. You know this is a low budget regional horror picture. That's obvious. You can tell, and you can tell that painstaking attempts have been made to make this look as best and as real as possible, as it probably did when it played at a drive-in theater. And you do get that feel that that is a drive-in style film. I do recommend when you watch this, watch it with the introduction by Stephen Thrower. He does a really good job with introductions, and he sets up the movie extremely well. He also kind of like wants to put your expectations at a reasonable level when you go in. He lets you know, okay, this is a low budget film. This movie isn't going with a strictly linear narrative. Make sure that you know this before you go in, because I think that it'll help you enjoy it a lot more. Malatesta's Carnival of Blood is fantastic. Actually, it has the late Hervé Villechaize. I hope I got this, pronounced his name right there, from Fantasy Island, and of course The Man with the Golden Gun. He has a part in this as a character by the name of Bobo. That's the thing. It has this like kind of like, people are always talking like lately. There's too many remakes. There's too many, there's too much like sequels and all that type of stuff. And then all of a sudden, they put out this, right? And Forbidden Zone, yeah. They put it like Arrow puts out something like this, and it takes forever to sell out. Like this was out for 2 years. It took 2 years to get the second American Horror Project volume to come out, because it didn't sell as well as some of their better known like release titles. But this is exactly what people are asking, or have been asking for. They want to see unique, different horror. We don't want to just see remakes or reboots or sequels, that type of thing, as Vinny would say, if you follow him on Twitter. This is exactly what horror fans are asking for, and these are perfect for Halloween. I was so impressed by the way this film was done. I was impressed by this. The Black Cat set, that's insane. Like, that is an amazing set. Your voice is your voice locked door and online. I have the key is one of the best giallos out there, and it's definitely the best thing that Martino like put out, in my opinion, out of everything that I've seen. The features on this are incredible. The interview, the director on here, it's a great interview. They actually interviewed the writer of the film as well, and that's really interesting because he has his own take on it. And they interviewed the art director on here, and I really like the interview with the art director as well. It is like, it's very different. In my opinion, it's very much better than Fulci's. And they also have an audio commentary on here with with Richard Harlan Smith, which I actually haven't listened to, so I can't tell you what that's like. But that is Malatesta's Carnival of Blood. If you've got the set and you haven't checked it out, I really recommend that you check it out. If you don't have this set and you're interested in it at all, I would buy it on the strength of that film alone. That, and there's some more incredible stuff in there. I talked to a guy on Twitter today, hey Toy Collector, that ordered the second set and ordered the first set because he found it on like on the I'm not sure if it was Amazon at the time, it's sold out now, or it was on Vinegar Syndrome's website, and then he went back to the Arrow website and Volume 2 was sold out on the site. It was out of stock at least on the site, but then I was able to find it on Amazon for him, so he was able to like pick up both sets in the same day, which is actually kind of cool. So hopefully he'll like them and he won't curse me for that aspect. But I did want to talk about it. I got super excited about it. I don't have it yet. Like, the American Horror Project Volume 2 is on its way to me. I ordered it last week. I think it's been sent out now, so I should be getting it fairly soon. I don't think it was sent out. We had Canada Day on Monday, so that slows down our mail postal work by at least a couple of days usually. So I'll probably get it around 2 days later than I normally expect it. So hopefully by Friday I should have the American Horror Project Volume 2 and my house collection. Where I did regular mail for Waterworld and A Case of the Scorpion's Tail, those may take a little bit longer to get here. But that's one of the movies that I watched from one of the box sets. And it got me excited to like watch more. I actually wanted to go back and watch more of the Phantasm stuff again, and to think of it like any other surreal horror that I could find. You, when you look back at the German expressionism stuff, like in the silent horror era, then you get to see a lot of this stuff, like Cabinet Dr. Caligari, and films of that ilk, that really kind of deal with expressionism and like a surrealism in horror. And as sound came in, you got more of a narrative structure, and you got more of like a you. They didn't rely so much on the visuals. They wanted to get like the fact, oh, we have sound now. I would definitely consider Symptoms surreal horror. Hey, Sasha, how's it going? But it's more of a psychological surrealness when it comes to symptoms. When it comes to like, but symptoms does have like kind of like that soft focus, kind of just waking up from a dream, and you're not quite sure if you're awake yet, type of thing. If you understand what I mean, and that kind of that aspect of it, I really enjoy. I think that once when sound films came in, and when Universal started doing the regular monster films, and then went into like the to the later like creature stuff. Oh, dude, take some medication and like get in the dark and rest up. Health, most important. Always most important, dude. So when you find these films, these little films like Malatesta's Carnival of Blood, or or Phantasms of the World, you really want to hold on to them, because it's oh, thanks. This is my Camp Crystal Lake one. Last time I had my Pet Cemetery shirt on, which apparently somebody liked a lot here. Actually, Team Money, I think it was. And I did like so when I can find it, when I can find a really good, cool, surrealistic horror film, I dive into it. Like, I'll be honest, I watched Malatesta, and I was like, I really like that. And I was like, the ending's kind of strange. Like it is, that's when you see these type of films. If you watch any like French New Wave cinema, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I went back and I said, you know what? I think I got to watch it again. So that's what I did. I actually went. I got a cup of tea, and I grabbed a super pretzel, and then I came back and I turned the movie on again, and I rewatched it before I watched any of the features. And I really enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it more watching it the second time, because I was waiting for certain things that I was picking up on, and I was just enjoying the way that it was done, and just the odd type of like artwork and the art design within the film. Horror House on Highway 5 is a favorite of mine. I actually really love that film. Guilty pleasure horror. I'll get that in a second, actually. But Horror House on Highway 5, I'm not sure much as I maybe it's surreal in spite of itself. I don't think it was ever meant to be. Like maybe certain aspects of it were, but it's a film that I really enjoy. It's one of those definitely low budget efforts that I think way like its enjoyment goes way above its budget. I guess you could give it like a certain aspects of it would have kind of a weird, almost like surrealness to it. But I think more so it's a kind of like a low budget that kind of has just has a unique feel that sometimes those the low budget films have. But I really love Horror House and Highway 5. It definitely, like, there's definitely aspects of it there. And I would never have thought about it, Jesse, but that is actually a good example. Kathy, as far as guilty pleasures, I don't know if I have anything that I would legitimately call a guilty pleasure film, because if I like it, like I like a lot of bad movies already, and a lot of like really unusual films. So I don't really think of them so much as guilty pleasures. I guess it's that terminology, is like I go all in. So if I like a movie that a lot of people would consider a guilty pleasure, to me it's just like, and I hope this is not a cop-out answer, by the way. It's just a movie that I really enjoy. Like I liked for instance, I'll give an example. I like the Wishmaster films, and they're not exactly the most like Grease 2. Okay, Grease 2 is what some people call a guilty pleasure. For me, I think Grease 2 is an excellent musical that is actually extremely well done. The songs suit like really suit it. Midnight Hour is fantastic. I love Midnight Hour. That needs a release actually. The songs suit the movie, and when you realize like some of the songs from Grease and stuff, then there's nothing more like odd than say a song like "Freddie My Love" from in the original Grease, and then comes out in Grease too. But I think the thing with me is I sincerely love these films. So it's hard to say guilty pleasure when it comes to a lot of them. But I guess if you want to say guilty pleasure, what I like that other people don't like, I love Shock Treatment, which is the sequel, not the sequel, not the prequel, but the equal to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and it's always been a favorite of mine. I think it's way ahead of its time to this day, especially in like an era of like reality television. There's aspects of Shock Treatment that are so far ahead of like predicting what actually would happen with society. It's just insane. Um, but yeah, it's always been a favorite of mine. I'm a huge Jessica Harper fan, so that helps, and I'm a big Clifton Young fan as well. I actually do too. My better half is a diehard Rocky Horror Picture Show fan, and I love the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I think it's a fantastic movie that stands the test of time. I think that Shock Treatment works on a different level than Rocky Horror Picture Show does, and overall, like Rocky Horror Picture has a more solid soundtrack. There's a couple weak songs in Shock Treatment, like to be completely blunt, to be completely honest. But when Shock Treatment songs work well, they work extremely well. The title song, Shock Treatment, is fantastic. Dual Duet is really good, Little Black Dress. And the one that I really like is the one where they're, hey, how's it going? It's a cool film. Now, that being said, I'm the person that like went to like a university and actually did a double feature on Halloween. Of Rocky Horror Picture Show, and what was the other film that I double featured it with? Because like people came to it and dressed up. Um, Plan 9 from Outer Space. Yeah. So I used to. I spoke to like the university professor there. They let me take the hall that they had, and I was able to. It was a few years back actually. I was able to host a screening, a double feature screening, and the ones we showed at the time were Rocky Horror Picture Show and Plan 9 from Outer Space. And then we took like some questions afterwards, type of thing, which was it was a really fun evening. And honestly, if I had the ability to do anything like as like in life as a career, that type of thing, that's what. Hey, 30 Wolf Man, welcome, dude. I actually saw like I watched a video and like I think it was a live stream originally. I don't think you're on it. Hey, Scholar. And before I go any farther into like that and let you ask any more questions type of thing, which I do hope you do, please do. Anybody that's came in recently, pick this up. Hey, Ryan. Uh, Considering Frank Henlotter's Basket Case is a fantastic film, I really appreciate that. And I take that wholly as a compliment. And there's a movie that has a bit of surrealism to it, is Basket Case. Malatesta's Carnival of Blood is on the American Horror Project Volume 1, or I think you're able to buy it separately now, but I would recommend this here if you can find this. This is in the Vinegar Syndrome website right now. I think there's like 4 copies of this set left. It's out of print. This is a fantastic little film. It is a really cool, surrealist horror film that works great, definitely works great in a crowd or watching it on your own. And, I strongly, hey, Boom Baby Movie Archives, and I strongly recommend that you pick it up and you definitely check that one out. You never seen this? You got to check it out, man. It's a great film. Rocky Horror Picture Show works on a few different levels. One, it's a really nice throwback to the RKO days of cinema. Two, it definitely Rocky Horror Picture Show, I'm sure more than any other horror film, has really made people become in touch with their sexuality, no matter what it may be, or maybe make someone question it, which is really neat. It also has a fantastic score by Richard O'Brien and some great work by the cast, like some great singing within the film. I do, however, think that Jessica Harper works better, like singing. This is going to be sacrilege to some people, singing as Janet Weiss than Susan Sarandon does. Just because I think Jessica Harper has a better voice and a richer voice. But they both work for their particular films. Janet Weiss in Rocky Horror Picture Show is one of the lead characters. Is in Rocky Horror, no, William Catt's not in Rocky Horror Picture Show. Would you really consider Rocky a horror film? Not really. I mean, it's got homages to horror. But I wouldn't consider it a horror film myself. I would consider it's more of like it's definitely more of a musical. There's comedy. Peter Carpenter. I doubt any of the Peter Carpenter songs broke into the top 40. I would be interested to know though. That's a question I never thought about asking. But I'm sure he wanted them to. I liked that film a lot actually. I'm a huge Pete Carpenter fan because of that double feature. I definitely need more Pete Carpenter stuff in my life. If there's more out there that's available, because that's the only two that I've gotten. And they were so good. 1950s mad scientist type movie. It's a film that deals it deals with it's got music, it's got it deals with different tropes of films in that time and kind of subverts them. We get the mad scientist, but the mad scientist is in. Oh, hold on, I'll be right back. So guess what? This, my friends, this has turned into an unboxing. When I started making this video, I thought maybe I haven't watched the TV edits yet. I gotta watch them. Maybe this will come, but I didn't think it would. I'm so happy. Okay, so let us first check out the first one. So this is the re-release of the House collection. Now, I missed out on the original House collection, which had the book with it, so I did want to grab this. So let's look at it here, see. I wasn't a big fan, actually. Some of the cast I didn't think had the strongest voices for what they were doing. I prefer this artwork, just to let you know. So let's look at these. So they're slimline cases, which they're starting to do more with Arrow. I like the original cases, but I do like the slimline ones because it kind of fits better into my shelving. So here we go. And I want to check to see if we got the other artwork here as well. This one here is, yeah, this one actually does. This is a region A and B release. So it is for the first ones anyway. So we'll check. So it has the 10 Years of Arrow booklet in there that we're seeing with a lot of them. And as you can see, we got the original cover for House. So these will have the dual artwork on here as well. So let me just put this over here because I want to show you all of them. Yes, this is House 2, the second story, which I think is extremely underrated. This is a lot of fun. I really love the new artwork. Normally I switch to the artwork over, but I'm definitely keeping this new artwork. I really like this. I thought this movie was fantastic. I mean, Ari Gross is in this. Jonathan Stark, who people don't talk about enough. Actually, Jonathan Stark did the movie, what was it? Oh God, Fright Night. Yeah, he was in Fright Night. He was like the kind of the ghoul in Fright Night. Royal Dano is the guy you're talking about. And of course, John Ratzenberger really steals this one. I did see House in the theater. Thanks, PlayStation, man. I kind of like, and we have like a card for Southland Tales right here, which I did like actually, and a lot of people didn't like Southland Tales, but I did, so I will be picking that up down the road. And this is House 2, which really is not exactly the most original artwork, but it is what they use for the actual cinema. And here we have House 3, and here it does say that it's Region B, but I haven't checked them out to see if like this was going to play Region 3 or not. But it does say Region B on here, so I do have to let you know that. Ahead of time. Yep, Arrow's releasing Southland Tales. Of course, this is the horror show, but this was the House 3 artwork that they used, which is actually really, really cool. Did you really? That's awesome. I'll look at the features here in a second. I'm just going to go through the, let you guys see the kind of the artwork on these here first. Now this is House 4. This is probably the least liked House film out there. The horror show is actually really good. And we'll look at the alternate artwork, which is going to be a little bit different than the other ones. So you'll see that actually is pretty cool. I like that actually. Now there's certain things that I want to like talk about in each of these. So with House here, like feature-wise, it's pretty stacked. La Casa Part 2. La Casa Part, it has like, we got an audio commentary with Steve Miner and Sean S. Cunningham, William Catt, and Ethan Wiley. There's Ding Dong You're Dead, The Making of House, which is about an hour or so long, brand new documentary on the film, which talks to everybody from Kay Lenz to William Catt to the producer, composer Henry Manfredini. There's like a still gallery. There's a on the Blu-ray ROM here. There's a 15-page Twilight Zone story that was inspired House. So like a ton of features on this one. On the second one, we're going to get like another commentary with the director. We're going to get another like long making of the film with like a bunch of like interviews, and even a vintage EPK kit, which I really like. On part 4, I'm going to leave part 3 for last. I'll explain why in a second actually. Part 4 also has Home Deadly Home, the making of House 4, and it has like some tactical trailers and stuff like that on it. Now House 3, this is the one I wanted to talk about, and there's a reason. If you live in North America, you probably know this as the horror show. And here, let me show you something. Looks like I can't find it right now, but the horror show was put out in North America, I think under the Scream Factory label. I do have it. No, you don't. And I want to squish my box. I just got it. Unfortunately, exactly what PlayStation 9 there just said, the Scream Factory edition of this wasn't the uncut version of the film. It's cut. So if you have the Scream Factory edition, which I do because at the time it was the only way to get the movie, it is the cut edition. This one here has the uncut European version of the film, first time ever on Blu-ray. It also has the US theatrical cut, which is on the Scream Factory one. It does have the interviews that were on the Scream Factor edition, but it also includes a brand new featurette with special makeup effects creators Robert Kurtzman, Greg Nicotero, and Howard Berger on here as well. So there's extra features, and you get finally will get the uncut version of this film. This is very different from the other House films. It's really well done. I really enjoyed this movie definitely on its own merit. It came in around the same time as Shocker did, and they have a very similar premise. But I love it stars Lance Henriksen. Brian James is the villain in this one. So the collection itself, there's 4 titles in all, and on my next video, I'll see if I can find the horror show. I'll show you guys. So this is the House collection right here. Now, on the third one, the region says B, 13th Wolfman. The region says B on the third one and B on the fourth one. So, I've heard some people said, this might be region free anyway. So, I don't know, but I have not checked yet. Obviously, I just got this in the post today. But it does list them as being region B. It's a favorite of mine too, Alan, by the way. I'm actually really excited to dive into these and to check them out. So that's one. So you already know what the next one's going to be. And let's take a look at it. Blu-ray.com lists them as A and B. All right, so this is the American Horror Project Volume 2, which just came, literally. I got my House collection, and as I was making this video actually, and I got my American Horror Project collection. And Kubrick lover, I think you would actually like the American Horror Project collection. So this has 3 films on it. One of them is by John Hayes, who is a director I'm actually very familiar with. And there we have some great stuff on here. I'm gonna dive into the limited edition stuff before I even open up the box to tell you guys. And look, just so you can see the. Look here, I will reverse the covers on here so you guys can see the reversible covers on here as well. I love the American Horror Project thing that they got there. Did they do that in the original? No, they didn't. They should have actually. See this? They got the American Horror Project label there, which I think is awesome. Side by side, sure I can. So this is American Horror Project Volume 1 and Volume 2. If you want to see what they look like in your shelving. I hope you feel better, Sasha. Now, the American Horror Project has been definitely, I think this has been curated by Stephen Thrower, and it's been really, really well done. Feature-wise, they've always had some great features. It's always been a really cool book within here as well. So we got on the limited edition here, we get the 60-page booklet is here as well. 60 pages, almost a book, I think, with writings by Amanda Reyes, Stephen R. Bissett, and Travis Crawford. On Dream No Evil, we got a brand new audio commentary with Kate Ellinger and Sam Deegan, which is going to be good. Melancholy Dreamer, newly filmed video appreciation of Dream No Evil by author Stephen Thrower. I'm looking forward to that. Hollywood After Dark, the early films of James Hayes from 1959 to 1971. A brand new video essay by Stephen Thrower. Oh wow, there's 2 things there, Brian. Looking at the John Hayes' filmography leading up to Dream No Evil. Evan O'Brien, an actor for all seasons with Chris Pagelle on the prodigious career of celebrated character actor Evan O'Brien. Archival audio interviews with actress Rue McClanahan. Oh, me too, actually. Discussing her many cinematic collaborations with director John Hayes. I know one of them, Hollywood After Dark. With Dark August, we get a brand new audio commentary with director Martin Goldman. Dark August Revisited. A lot of people said a lot of good stuff about Dark August, actually. A newly filmed video appreciation of Dark August by author Stephen Thrower. Mad Ave to Mad Dogs, brand new on-camera interviews with director Martin Goldman, who discusses his transition from working on commercials to feature films. Don't Mess with the Psychic, brand new on-camera interview with producer Mariana Cantor. The Hills Are Alive, Dark August and Vermont folklore author and artist Stephen R. Bissett on Dark August and its context within the wider realm of Vermont genre filmmaking. I'm really excited about this set. And I really want to see that featurette on Vermont filmmaking, actually. And The Child here was as the least featured, but it's also a very interesting film. A brand new audio commentary with the director and producer of the film, moderated by Stephen Thrower. There's The Zombie Child, a newly filmed video appreciation of The Child by Stephen Thrower. Fathers of the Child, brand new featurette comprising an on-camera interviews with the director and producer. So let's open it up and check it out. So hopefully this has sold you on this if you haven't picked it up yet. But pretty much everybody's picking up. I gotta say, everybody is actually picking up this volume as opposed to people that waited on the first volume. So as you can see, it has this here is just like a card one. This is actually kind of, I think, pretty much plain on the inside. I'll leave the card on here for right now. Which ones? Craven's Hills of Eyes. I love the Hills of Eyes. Takeshi Mikai's Dead Alive. I haven't watched the Dead Alive ones in years, so I would not be able to even like comment on those. So first off, and I'll be changing the artwork around as we look at these. So this is Dream No Evil. This is the I guess the Twins of Evil. I think they're called their artwork. And as you can see, there's a card in here, and it is the Horrors of the Malformed Men card. I love these art cards that they put out. So let's switch around the artwork because I know it has. Oh, I actually really like this. Yeah, I'm going to keep this artwork, the old artwork on here. I'm pretty sure. I'm not a disgusting scene in the Takeshi Mikai movie. What do you mean? Okay, so the alternate art. Some people might find this kind of like, might be bland or something, but I really like it. So this is the other artwork for Dream No Evil. I really dig this. It has a really old school aesthetic to it. This looks exactly like something that I would pick up at a store, like at a shop, or you know, if I was renting a movie. This is the new artwork for Dark August. Now I'm going to switch that around. Yeah, actually I like this too. Both of them, like the art, both art is good. I'm not going to lie. Like, you know, it's all dependent on your preference. It's just where these are kind of old school regional horror films, I do like to get the original artwork on there. And this is the artwork for Dark August. And I actually like this too. This is actually really cool. Gotta get this straightened out though. I'm pretty OCD about that stuff. I'm actually super OCD about that stuff. So see what happens, guys, when you come in here and we're doing like a regular video. You never know when somebody's gonna knock on the door and like have movies waiting. So here is the new artwork for The Child. I'm not a big fan of this actually. So let's hope for better artwork on the other side. Which I'm not gonna lie, I've seen the artwork. I know it's fantastic on the other side. The Child definitely has the best, most evocatively horror-centric artwork out of this entire set. And if the alternate artwork was shown in that artwork that I just showed you would not, like if I was out like at a video store or if I was out like at a shop, I probably wouldn't, like if I didn't know anything about the movie, I may not pick it up like without like at first glance. This, however, I would pick up immediately and buy. Because this is awesome friggin' artwork. This looks creepy. This looks really, really cool. I'm a super big fan of this art. That's the thing, like it all depends, man, on like it's got to catch your eye. I mean, like when it comes to films, like this is way better. And this looks creepy. I mean, I don't know if the movie's is as creepy as this artwork, but this artwork is super creepy. So along with that, there is the 60-page book that comes with it. Have I seen these movies? I do not think I've seen either one of these three. I may have seen Dream No Evil because I'm a big Edmund O'Brien fan back in the day, but I don't remember it. So I'm still going in with fresh eyes. We're going to say I haven't seen them because I can't remember for sure. So we got to go with. We're going to go with no. So I don't biological because the artwork doesn't get you right. So again, we got like some. There's the table of contents. Let's see if I can show you some stuff. There's Brian, like the running your. Oh, have a great day. There's PlayStation 9. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully we'll see you next time. I'm kind of interested in this one here, the Stephen R. Bissett article on Vermont folk horror. So, thank you. Surprising stream because I actually got my movies and I didn't expect it. Do you know what's kind of comical? B Movie Archive is when I was initially thinking about doing this stream, I had some like pizza there, and I thought about actually grabbing my tea and grabbing my movie that I was going to talk about, and actually calling this like pizza and a movie, and doing that. But I went against that. So I don't know if I guess I'll keep this on here for now. American Horror Project Volume 2. The welcome back. The House Collection. Just literally, a few minutes ago, just arrived at my door. So wow. I do not know which I'll dive into first. I'm going through the American Horror Project Volume 1, so maybe I'll wait till I finish the American Horror Project Volume 2, the first volume before I go into this one. But I will be going through all these in the next week or so. These are great, like horror. I'm so tempted, I'm really liking these, but I had been tempted to wait on these for Halloween because I love regional horror. I really do. It's a favorite of mine. But I kind of feel like tonight I'm going to dive into the House franchise, to be honest with you. It's been a long time since I watched a few of these. I guess the horror show is the one I watched most recently, but I haven't seen the uncut version. So it'll be nice to see that. That's a lie. I think I've seen the uncut version through nefarious means back in the day of the early internet when you could find those things online. But it'd be interesting to see it done. I wonder if they did they remaster it? I wonder, is it going to be? Because I'm sure there'll be a remaster of the theatrical version. Tim Hortons is huge. You got to go there, man. You got to go to Tim Hortons at least once. Get some Timbits. So, trust me on this. Get like a variety pack of Timbits. That's what everybody gets. And then if you like, I'm not sure if you like tea or coffee, that type of thing. Get some donuts. They have some Tim Hortons is fantastic. I would love that, Jesse. Actually, that is one of my dream things, is to see Arrow do a Canadian horror project, because there has been so much that came out in Canada, like in Canucksploitation horror. It's kind of like Tim Hortons is like it's a coffee shop that's gotten more into food recently. They always had things like donuts and tea and coffee and soups, like basically the basic stuff you get. And Timbits, which is like the donut holes, really, and now they also do some sandwiches and stuff, and they do like a few other things recently. Like they've done like some some chicken strips like recently. I don't eat the Tim Hortons poutine. I'm just got to tell you that right now, and that you should definitely make your own horror film. Tim Hortons poutine is horrible, so stay away from that. Great poutine in Montreal. Lots of places to get poutine. No burgers, Tim Hortons. Just make sure that you don't get the poutine at Tim Hortons. It's really not good. But no, it's more of a coffee shop that has some like soup and sandwiches and stuff in it. Poutine. Poutine is Canadian. And basically, what it is, trust me, it tastes a lot better than it's going to sound to you. It is French fries and cheese curds, and it has poutine sauce, which some people mistakenly put gravy, which you can use, but there's more of a poutine type sauce. And it's really good. It's spelled the way zombies ate my arm, said it, right there. And there's a place called Smokies. I think it's called Smokies. And I think they're in Montreal. I'm not quite sure. They're all around anyway. And it's a poutine place. And you can buy all types of poutine, right? Yeah. South Park's made fun of everything. Is there anything that South Park hasn't made fun of? But trust me, the South Park guys like poutine. Most people do once you actually try it. And you can get all kinds. You can get poutine with like different types of meat in it as well. And there's a ton of different stuff. Shea Ashton, I haven't been there. Then again, I've most of my time I spent in like actually in Montreal itself when I was in that area. Usually in the plateau, if you know the Montreal area. Then I spent a lot of time in the plateau. But yeah, we got on poutine for a second. But yeah, poutine, it's really good. Trek at Tim Hortons, but don't eat the poutine at Tim Hortons. Eat it elsewhere. But you cannot go to Canada and not have poutine because it's delicious. So as far as the Canadian horror box set, Ryan's actually probably right. Severin would probably be more like someone to put that out. I could actually see Vinegar Syndrome doing something like that because I've noticed that they've dipped into the Canadian horror films and that as well. Like Sudden Fury, for instance, would have been a perfect choice for like a Canadian horror project set. There's a few like some real, and Severin put out like Things originally on DVD under the Intervision label, which is a 1989 like low budget schlocky like horror film, we'll call it, but that has to be seen to be believed. The June July, what were the June and July titles? I don't think I did. Well, I got the last titles I got were what were they over there? Was Lust in the Dust, Night Beast, Satan Slaves, and whatever the heck the other one was. I can't remember right now. So those are the last ones I got. So those were the June titles, right? Or were they? Oh, Putney Swoop, The Passing, the other two. I didn't get those. Talk to you later, and go to Tim Hortons, but don't have poutine there. I don't know. I didn't get any of those like as of yet. They do have some interesting stuff. Some very different stuff. This is the most unique month for Vinegar Syndrome that I've seen as of yet. Because usually, like let's be honest, when we think of the titles that we normally are getting, there's some horror stuff. There's usually like some X-rated or softcore stuff put in there. But these are very different titles, very different like acquisitions for Vinegar Syndrome. So I'm guessing that this month they're going to be looking at exactly what sells and what does well to help determine like which of these like films and styles of films they'll be going for in the near future. So if there's something that you're interested in and a certain style of film that we'd like to see Vinegar Syndrome do more of, well, that's your best way to do so is to pick up that title and say, okay, yeah, I want to get Taking a Tiger Mountain, or I want to get Putney Swoop, and I'd like to see more of this style come from the company. And that's how most places decide like what's coming next. That's why the Sexploitation series, which I think was fantastic, had movies like Pickup in it and had the Andy Milligan stuff. I thought was fantastic, but unfortunately it did not sell that well. And it's a real shame because it was a nice series. It has been an insane time, Jesse, for like films and pickups and sales and everything. It's been so good. I mean, I personally, The Hills Have Eyes Volume 2, Part 2, I got that on pre-order. I'm actually going to pre-order The Prey later on today so that I get the limited edition of that one as well. So those are my September titles, pickups that I'm going to want to pick up. And those upcoming, don't remind me, I can't get them right now. That's the reason, because of the sales, like, because I had those indicator things like already pre-ordered, and I'm like, okay, I'm slowing down a bit, and because I got to catch up with my stuff that I got, and I want to really be able to enjoy it. It's nice. I hope so. Fingers crossed. I got these sets to watch now too. I'm actually really excited about the making ofs on here. Like, apparently they're really really good documentaries on sales fatigue on these sets. I thought this was going to be thicker because I thought it was going to be like regular size cases rather than slimline out. And at first I was a little bit disappointed that it was slimline now, but considering my space issue, I'm actually kind of glad that they're slimline cases. But I love the artwork on these. I really do love the artwork on these. Yeah, they're amazing sets. And I bought the other two I took regular shipping. So we'll see how long it takes to come during regular raw mail. I'm going to guess those will show up in around 2 weeks. I'm not expecting anything soon from regular standard shipping. I'm not sure what people use with the Arrow sale, but for me, I find that takes a lot longer if you take the regular shipping, like track shipping. Yeah, this was 2 days. So okay, so when you put in the time that it takes to come, did it show up super fast? So I'm hoping mine will too. Oh, welcome, Daz. I am actually pretty much wrapping up pretty soon because I am going to go check out my new box sets. No, I mean it is like most people. I don't consider that a sale. I mean, like, barely. It's barely a sale. But oh man, there's so much nice stuff. But definitely the winner of the nicest reversible cover that I've seen in ages goes to The Child. I had planned to talk about Jose Larraz's Whirlpool on here as well today, but I think I'm going to leave that for my next video because I did watch that one. Yeah, that's a horror cover. That's the way a horror cover should be. And I don't know whether to keep this like sleeve thing on or to take it off. But for right now, I don't think there's any like artwork like in the back of this, so I'm going to leave the sleeve on. Oh, nice. But yeah, so I've seen the other artwork for the other. I wonder why. I might be in the minority here, but the House re-release collection. I hope so. I mean, I've heard like rumors, and I'm not in the know when it comes to that. So I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've heard rumors that there's a possibility of a Jose Larraz 2 box set, but there's no like. No, nothing's been like set in stone or told to, as far as I know, to anybody yet. If it has been, I'm not aware of it. But it's on that's my wish list of that I'm hoping that they do, because there's so many other films that they could put out by Larraz. I'm sure that like Symptoms will be one of them that might go. No, maybe not, because there's Symptoms was done in the UK as well. But there are some other ones that they'd be able to do. There's a few. Actually, there's one that I saw, and it has this kind of like white mask type face on it. And basically, it's an odd little kind of low budget film where these people like are in the woods and they're driving and they end up in this on this trail and end up at this old mansion, this old dilapidated mansion, and there's a killer there, which is kind of like standard slasher fare, but I really did enjoy it. Oh yeah, I got them on Macabre edition of like Symptoms. That's one of my favorites. But Symptoms was put out in the UK under I think the BFI Flipside label. Coming of Sin is in Volume 1. The Jose Larraz set's right here. It has Coming of Sin, Whirlpool, and Vampires, or Vampires, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Anywho. Thank you so much for joining me today. We had a surprise unboxing. That was a blast. I'm not gonna lie, that was definitely a surprise. And as soon as I heard his knock, by now I'm not gonna lie, when he knocks on the door, when that post guy, the USPS guy knocks on the door, I know I know it's knock. So that's why I ran upstairs right away, because I knew what it was. Thank you so much for watching today. I am Aaron. I'm going to watch some awesome Arrow stuff. I promise you guys I'll soon be doing the full moon video that you guys requested. I'm watching the American Horror Story Project Volume 2 tonight. I got to get through Volume 1 before I start on Volume 2. I'm not going to jump through. But I will probably be watching, taking a break from the American Horror Project for tonight and watching a little bit of the house set. And then I'll go back to the American Horror Project tomorrow. My next one is, and this was one I've seen a lot on Volume 1, is going to be The Witch Who Came from the Sea. Then Premonition, and then I'll start on Volume 2. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great evening. I'm Aaron. You guys are the movie club. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. And more than likely, Volume 2, Full Moon, that's going to be my next video. Have a great evening. I got to check out the website. I got to see what the sale's like. And then we'll be able to talk about it. See you soon.